Please welcome Praful Mattu.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Praful. Welcome you all. Great to be here with all of the selling partners out here and those of you who are joining us virtually. In this session, we'll be sharing details on the service provider network and how you can leverage this network to grow your business. Before we get into the details on the service provider network, let's talk a little bit about our sellers out here. I'm sure all of you have a vision for your business. There are things that must be working well for you, and I'm sure there are opportunities as well. Some of you may be looking at increasing your revenue stream. Some of you may be looking at creating a stronger brand image. And some of you may be looking to create a positive community impact through sustainable products. But I'm sure a key input into this, and one of the reasons you all are selling on Amazon, is to maximize your reach in your target customer segment and grow your business. Before we get into the details, let's start with a polling question. But let's look at some instructions first. For those of you here in the room, you'll need to access your Amazon Accelerate app. I hope you already have the app, but if not, you could scan the QR code, the backside of your badge, and get set. The password is Amazon. I'll wait for some time before you all get set. All right, so hopefully you all are in. Once you're in, navigate to our session, the service provider network session on the agenda, and then you'll see a surveys option in there. Choose the surveys option, and you should be all set. You could see the poll and you can start answering. For those of you who are joining us virtually, make sure you're checked in to the session under the video player for full engagement panel access. Your engagement panel is on the right side. You could click surveys there and enter the poll. So let's get started with the first poll before we get in. And yeah, while you take the poll, I do want to reiterate that we at Amazon are very committed to making sure that it's easy for sellers to launch, operate, and grow your business on Amazon. Having said that, I'm sure there are some challenges, some questions that you all face in your journey, in your selling journey on Amazon, right? So this poll is about that. It is about the top question in your mind during your Amazon journey. The poll has a few options listed: product listing, advertising, brand approvals, returns, international expansion, and so on. I'll encourage you all over here and those who are joining us virtually to take the poll while we wait. Okay, we see some responses coming in already. Growing your sales and product listing, kind of going neck to neck. Yeah, product listing and imaging is still maintaining the lead. I'll wait for some more time for this to kind of stabilize. So we have product listing at the top so far, growing your sales as number 2, advertising and category brand approvals is tied at number 3. That's interesting. So yeah, so let's get going. So it seems the top 3 questions on your mind are product listing, growing your sales, and then approvals around category and brand, right? Here's the good news. The good news is that SPN addresses all these top 3 here and much more, right? So yeah, so every seller needs to take up a bunch of tasks to be successful on Amazon, right? If you look at the slide, irrespective of the stage you are at, whether you're starting your journey on Amazon, right? Or you're already selling on Amazon and are reasonably successful, or to the other end of the spectrum where you're looking at opportunities to sell internationally, right? Talking about sellers who are just starting their journey on Amazon. When we talk to sellers, the common challenge we hear is listing. And coincidentally, that was also one of the top questions in the poll that you took. The content of the listing, images, other guidelines that need to be followed. There are requirements of certifications and approvals, such as FDA for food products. And sometimes the errors that you all face while uploading your listings on Seller Central, those are very difficult to navigate. The other thing that we hear from our sellers who are relatively new to selling on Amazon is about the number of resources available on Seller Central, right? It can be overwhelming. There are resources on inventory, order management, advertising, and so on. And it may be confusing for sellers to understand what resources to leverage in which part of their Amazon journey, right? So that's about the sellers who are relatively new to Amazon. When we go to sellers who are already launched or running their business on Amazon, they also have a set of questions, but the questions are slightly different. There are questions about choosing your logistics option. Do I self-ship or do I go FBA? How to run your day-to-day operations successfully and efficiently. Operations like order management, inventory updates, pricing, and so on. And once you get used to these operations, the next set of questions in your mind is around visibility of your products and how to improve conversion and sales on Amazon for your products. There are also questions that we hear around payments, whether the payments are in order. There could be multiple exchanges, returns, and so on. And then for sellers who have seen success and have been selling successfully on Amazon, the focus may be on business expansion, be it adjacent categories or selling in other countries. And that has its own set of challenges if you want to sell internationally. You need to know the tax and compliance laws of a totally new country where you're listing your products. As an example, there is this EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility Certification, that you need to sell in France and Germany. Again, if you're selling internationally, you need help with market research, language nuances, shipping, a bunch of other challenges that you need to navigate. So this brings us to an obvious question and another poll, right? So please go to the app again, those of you who are here and those who are joining us virtually. The poll that you will see this time is, if you are facing any challenge or have any questions as you sell on Amazon, how do you normally obtain help? Is it self-study via Google, YouTube, blogs? Or is it self-study via the Seller University that Amazon offers? Or do you go to the third-party experts? Or do you consult your friends and peers? Right? So let's see, what are we getting? All right, so far we see it's largely going to search engines like Google, blogs, YouTube, and trying to get help. Many of you also leverage the resources available on Amazon, like the Seller Event, Seller University. That's great to see. And there is a tie between going to third-party experts directly and then asking your peer sellers for help, right? So, let's see. Okay, the numbers are changing, but the top response still is self-study, self-exploration via third-party sources like Google, followed by Amazon resources. It's great to see that Amazon resources are helping you all as well. Okay, more responses coming in. Google, blogs, YouTube is still the #1 option. And then we have Amazon resources, and #3 is third-party experts directly. All right, so interesting. So what we see here on the poll results is not very different from what we hear from our sellers in our conversation with them. We've heard that many of our selling partners use a search engine like Google to find third-party experts, right? And this is primarily due to lack of manpower or due to lack of subject matter expertise, right? However, even with this, even after finding these experts, third-party experts on a site like Google, a seller usually needs to put in a lot of effort in comparison to determine who is this third-party provider that you all can trust, who has got genuine reviews on these search engines, and who is providing the services for you at the right price. And this comparison can become really complicated, as a typical search would return like thousands of results, right? That's a lot of work, right? Coincidentally, I actually met a seller very recently who took almost a month to find the right provider and get started. And this is where Amazon Service Provider Network, or SPN, comes in. Amazon SPN is a one-stop shop for running a successful e-commerce business on Amazon, right? And in order to take you through the product and the offering that helps you grow your business on Amazon, I hereby invite my colleagues Prashant and Jayant on stage so that they can talk more about the SPN product and how you can use it to grow your business on Amazon.
Hi, I'm Prashant. I head Amazon SPN.
And I am Jayant. I head business development for SPN. So what is SPN? Let's see this small video to find out more.
Amazon SPN, or Service Provider Network, is located within Seller Central. You can navigate to the SPN website by clicking on the Partner Network tab and selecting Explore Services from the drop-down menu. You will then be directed to the SPN portal page. Based on your location, the fields in the search options will be set by default. As you can see, in this case, the location is set to the United States of America. However, it is important to note that we support sellers selling from 28 countries across 20 marketplaces. You can choose the marketplace you want to sell in, as well as the service you need support with, directly from the search options enabled in the portal. As you scroll down, you will see a list of 16 services that are applicable to the US region. You can select the service that you need help with. For example, selecting IP Accelerator service can help in trademark registry and brand protection. This is the service page for IP Accelerator. On the left-hand side, you can find multiple filters to make your search easy. You can filter your search based on the sub-service required, the local providers, the provider location, supported languages, average customer reviews, and many more filters, which differs based on the service chosen. On the right-hand side are the individual service provider listings, which are ranked based on performance. You can then choose to compare service providers based on the information seen, such as number of requests received, feedback rating, and number of reviews. You can view more information on the service provider by clicking on the tiles. Every service provider will have details about the service they provide. This includes their specialties, services provided, location, languages, and in some services they will also state the prices. You can also view the detailed verified feedbacks provided by your peer sellers and make a choice on the service provider you want to work with. Once you have made your choice, you can click the Contact Provider button. A pop-up box with a form will appear on your screen. You need to fill this form with the details required. Ensure that you provide accurate details prior to submitting the request. This ensures that there is a smooth initial communication between you and the service provider, avoiding the need for repeated calls gathering information. Once done, click the Submit Request button. Another feature that you can check on the SPN homepage is the Request section seen on the top right-hand section. You can review all the requests you have submitted, your active and your completed orders through this section. Once you click on any of this, it will lead you to a dashboard called Managed Service Request Dashboard, also referred to as MSR Dashboard. You can check the status of your order as well as submit the feedback for your orders through this dashboard. This is how you can use the SPN page to review the service providers, select the service providers, and manage the service requests.
So you just saw the video. Let's recap it in 5 simple steps. 1. You go to SPN. 2nd, you select the service category where you need help. 3rd, you select a few service providers who have the capability to service your requirements. 4th, you raise service requests, talk to them, and finalize the service provider you want to work with. And 5th, you just sit back and relax while they get the job done.
So Prashant, this seems like a simple 5-step process. And I know that a lot of the sellers are already using SPN and they love it. So why do sellers love using SPN?
Great question. I think it comes down to 3 key benefits of selection, trust, and convenience. Praful has already spoken about a selection of 1,000 plus service providers available in 20 different countries. So let me focus more on trust and convenience. So in any business, it all starts with trust. And what does trust mean for us, for SPN? It means you get the quality service providers you're looking for. That is why we thoroughly vet each and every company that wishes to be a service provider. They have to clear certain assessments and also need to show a proven track record of having worked with Amazon sellers. Even after they are an SPN, we monitor their performance regularly and rank them based on this performance. All of this ensures that you always see the best performing service providers on top. But it doesn't end there. We also suspend service providers if they don't meet our performance benchmarks or do not follow policies. The next key benefit after trust is convenience. And what does convenience mean for us? It simply means that it should be easy to locate SPN, easy to find the service provider you need. So in Seller Central, you can find us directly on the navigation bar under Partner Network. For any service category, you can use filters like location, language, value-added services, average rating to narrow down the list of service providers easily and raise service requests. By the way, in US alone, we get around 75,000 requests every year.
And on the Seller app, you just have to look for Explore Services tab on the homepage itself. Then you need to select the service and raise a request. Once you have raised the request, we will select the top ranked service providers based on the ranking system which Prashant mentioned, and we will share the request with them and they will reach out back to you. In the US alone, we are getting 200,000 visits on the mobile app itself every year.
So a wide selection of service providers, a trustworthy ecosystem, and ease of use are the three key benefits which make sellers use SPN.
And these benefits have helped us grow rapidly over the years. And how? Starting from 2014 with just 3 services and 10 service providers in India, we have now grown all the way up to 18 services across 20 marketplaces. Worldwide, 150,000 sellers are already using SPN. So Prashant, we have been talking about service provider network and the services a lot. But what are these services? I'm sure people here want to know.
Definitely. I'm actually very excited to talk about the range of services available. So Praful spoke about how we look at sellers across different stages of their growth on Amazon. Similarly, we also group our services into launch, grow, and expand globally. Now let's start with the beginning of your journey on Amazon. The key things that you need to get started are listing your products, registering your brand, and getting acquainted with Amazon systems. So we have these 4 services that help you do just that. First up, we have cataloging or the listing service. It helps you create listings by adding title and descriptions, getting approvals for certain categories, and adding search optimized keywords to improve visibility. And you won't believe this is available for as low as $1 per product. After cataloging, let's look at imaging service. This is about adding great images to your listings.
Hey Prashant, wait, but I thought I have a smartphone, right? And this is the best one and it has very good camera.
Yep.
It can get the job done, right?
Well, maybe in some cases. But have you ever tried taking images of jewelry using your smartphone?
I have tried, but it doesn't work out well because of the reflections coming from the light.
Exactly. So this is where professionals on SPN can solve this with the right setup in the dedicated photo studios. In fact, they can also get models available to showcase your products. And if you already have images, they can simply edit them to comply with Amazon guidelines for as low as $5 per product. Let's talk about the third service. If you have your own brand, IP Accelerator helps you connect with attorneys to file for trademark registration and register as a brand on Amazon. Our last launch-related service is training. You can get customized training one-on-one as per your needs. It could be a basic training about signing up for FBA, managing your orders, and understanding business reports, or it could be an advanced training on how to grow on Amazon using levers like pricing, promotions, deals, coupons, etc. Now, let's see how seller Mariana got help when she was starting on Amazon. So as you can see, she was able to start from scratch get the work done real quickly, started seeing results, and felt that she got a lot for her money.
Yeah, it's really heartening to see these success stories from new sellers.
I agree.
So moving to the next set of services, these are related to the growth. So when you're looking to grow your sales on Amazon, these services can play a big part in accelerating that growth for you. I'll start from the first one, which is account management. This is a service where service providers can act just like an extension of your team or of yourself. They manage the entire Seller Central operations end-to-end for you. They can help you improve your account health by analyzing the reports coming out on Seller Central. They can also analyze your performance reports and suggest areas of growth for you, among all the other activities which they can do. The next one is advertising optimization. This is one of the more popular services, I guess. This service enables you to get more from your advertising budget. Service providers can help you run ad campaigns and increase the product visibility for your products.
Jan, this seems easy to do. Can't I run ad campaigns on my own? Why would I outsource that?
Yes, I know quite a lot of sellers who do it themselves, but the complexity can actually increase a lot very quickly here. Let me try and give you an example. So for example, let's say if you have a 50 product portfolio, and depending on the budget which you want to run the ads with, you can easily end up creating 10 plus ad campaigns there. Monitoring these ad campaigns on a daily basis, managing the budgets, and updating the keywords for all these campaigns for the different products, it could be a very complex job. And it can become a full-time job, which is the right thing for a professional to do rather than yourself.
Yeah, that does seem like a lot.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. But the best part is actually the last, which is these kind of services, both account management and ads, they can start for sellers in US for at as low as a few $100s a month for the service. Coming to the third service, we call it enhanced brand content. It's also called A+ content. So here, it's all about adding the right set of content in terms of A+ or videos on the product listings that you have. This can actually be the X factor which will lead to more conversions for your products there on Seller Central. Here, service providers actually have graphic designers and content creators who can help you create these high quality content for your brand. Lastly, we want to also talk about the accounting service here. This helps you keep track of all the reports on Amazon. They can help you integrate your accounting tools like QuickBooks with Amazon tools so that it can be managed easily. They also help you calculate your product-wise profitability for you to understand which products are working for you, more profitable so that you can focus on them more, as against the others which are really not working for you from the profitability point of view.
Got it.
Now let's see one more example of a seller. He's Arjun Vaidya. He won the SMB award in India a few years back. We can just maybe go through 1 minute. So he worked with a service provider called First Ventures based out of India. They work like an extension of his team, and they really work relentlessly to prepare his account for the holiday season. They helped him increase inventory availability and visibility, which resulted in a 25% jump in his sales during the festive season in India.
Yeah, I think I do remember when he got the SMB award. That was a good win.
Yeah.
Now, if you're already a successful seller in the US, I would strongly urge you to consider selling through Amazon in other marketplaces. We are present in 20 countries and the number is growing every year. If you do decide to sell beyond US, we have specialized services catering to the typical issues which may come up. So specifically, compliance and tax regulations vary by country and by product type and can become very complicated and cumbersome. I can try and illustrate that with an example. So Jayant, why don't you make yourself useful and be our guinea pig? Please take out your smartphone with that awesome camera just talked about. Assume you are a toy manufacturer in the US.
Okay.
Can you search for the safety standards required to sell toys in US?
Okay, US toys safety standards. Okay, I am getting a few results. Yeah, a lot of different results. But I think one thing I see common among them is I think they're mentioning a standard, something called an ASTM standard.
That would be ASTM F963-17. Okay, now tell me the equivalent one for UK.
Okay, I'll just change this to UK. Yep, I've got quite a few results, like a lot of government websites here in the top results. I'm opening the first one. Yeah, interesting. I don't see any specific standard being mentioned like US, but I think there are something different between UK and Northern Ireland. So they have probably two different sort of processes or standards. I also see, I think something has changed post-Brexit, which I'm not sure what it is.
Never mind, never mind. Let's come back to US. Even for US, do you know how you can actually get that ASTM certificate?
I don't know because I just searched. But if I have to do it, I would probably go and search for some accredited labs who can do this, and maybe get in touch with 3 or 4 of them, try to figure out who can work for me at what prices, and then probably use one of them.
This is where SPN can be helpful. You can simply filter labs based on certifications or product types and confidently work with them. Once you have your compliance and tax sorted, international shipping service providers can take care of your logistics. So you can choose mode of transport like air, sea, or land, and also get value-added services like customs clearance.
Okay, so I think here we end with some of the top services across all the 3 levels: launch, grow, and expand internationally. Now let me talk about what's next. So we have so far captured what we have on SPN today, but we also want to give you a sneak peek into what we are working on in terms of the 3 key benefits which Prashant had mentioned at the start, which is selection, trust, and convenience. So to start with, to improve the selection available on SPN in terms of the services, we are launching 2 new services very shortly. The first one is manufacturing service. So what we want to do here is we want to help you connect with verified manufacturers globally and source the products from them directly, quickly, and economically. These will be vetted manufacturers, which we will vet, and then only they can come on SPN, just like all the other services. The second one being the financial services. We are starting with lending, and then we'll also follow up with other financial services like insurance, forex, and credit cards. We feel this is very helpful for releasing your working capital as well as for the international expansion use cases. Coming to the next one, to enhance trust on SPN, we plan to enable payments through SPN. Today, the sellers and service providers have to interact directly and make the payments directly to them. We want to bring this whole ecosystem on SPN itself. And what we will also do is we will add the guaranteed refunds part of it, so that if you are unhappy with the service given, you can actually get a refund there guaranteed by SPN. Lastly, to make it more convenient for you, we have also built a document exchange. This will help you securely share your documents with the service provider right on SPN instead of sharing it over emails or chats and then not having a track of what you shared earlier.
Thanks, Jayant. Now that you know all about SPN, if you are interested, you can just find us on amazon.com/SPN. And if you are interested to register as a service provider yourself, please email us at contactspn@amazon.com.
And thank you to all the sellers out here and all of you who have joined us virtually. It was great spending time with you, and hopefully you found this session useful. There is also a survey that you could fill out before you walk out. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you.